Hey, what's up everybody? It's Awall here with FTW Broadcasting. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of my Procity series. This is a series where I teach you guys tips on how to build certain types of towns to help you become better mayors. Thank you everyone for the comments that you've been posting below these videos. I read all of them. Your tips to me have been very useful. If you have not already caught my previous two videos in this series, the Black Lung was the first one, teaching you how to start up an industrial town. This is a low wealth population town here in this pro domain. And this one, the Pinnacle, is a gambling town with a majority medium wealth population. Got low wealth, got medium wealth. What I'm missing right now is tourism as well as commercialism, which is what Treat Yourself is all about. And that's what this particular video will be all about, how to properly build a commercial area with a tourism element that best serves a low wealth and primarily medium wealth population. So that's what we're going to do here. In future videos, I will be showing you how to properly build a region and a city to serve high wealth population. Okay, first things first, when you're scouting out a town, what things should you be looking at? Is this area right for commercial? Push the coal map button. Is there coal here? Nope. Okay, that's good. Is there ore here? Nope, that's good. Is there oil here? Nope, that's good. It's perfect for commercial and tourism then. If any of those elements are here, you need to make a hybrid town at the very least and take advantage of the resources that are in the ground. You cannot pass up, in my opinion, valuable resources that are in the ground that can help you drive major growth to your city, at least in the startup phases. If you have an area with ore or coal or oil in the ground, at least use those resources during the startup phase to help support your commercial or your commercial area or your gambling area. If that's what you're going to end up going in your long game, you can get a ton of cash there. Okay, enough about that. First things first. This is going to be a grid-based town, as you can see. No curvy roads, no BS to deal with, so let's go ahead and keep things on the grid. If you look at the current state of the city, I'm at a 40,000 population, and one thing that I want you guys to note, once you get to the 20,000 population, with this particular build I'm going to show you, you blow up to 40,000. You're probably going to see it during this video. I went from 20,000 to about 40,000 in population in about 30 minutes of real time. I basically doubled in size in no time flat, which was amazing. So as you saw a moment ago, my profitability was very low. It's going back up. I had it to about 8,000 an hour a little while ago, but in this high growth phase, it went down. So first things first, my recommendation for a commercial town, take a look at your zoning. I recommend making your main strip, going up the gut of your town when you start out, all commercial up that main strip, and then putting residential on either side of this. Okay, why is that a smart idea? Because you're going to eventually be busing people into your town, and you want the first thing they see to be places to spend their cash on. That only makes sense. Then this main strip leads up into my mega commercial area. All of this in the back here, all of this, eventually will all be commercial and tourism. Okay, and then I'm going to fill out my residential over here on the side over here, as well as my residential over here on the side, and make those super high density population. Look at that population boom popping up in the middle of the video, making my point. So this is the basic layout. In the beginning, this back section here with all this commercial was not there. Just major residential here, and commercial up the gut. Okay. The next thing you need to remember when building your town early, you want to go ahead and upgrade your main road right here, your main vein, quickly to a high density avenue when you are going commercial. Upgrade that even while all of your residential areas have dirt roads. You'll be okay in so doing. The next really important element of creating a commercial town is getting your public transportation up and running as soon as possible. And since I have a regular grid here, I'm able to show you the perfect layout. This is the way real cities in real life are laid out. What you want to do, for maximum efficiency, left to right, you want to have your entire row horizontally, all bus stops on the left-hand side of the road, if you will, all the way across. Left-hand side of the road, left-hand side of the road, left-hand side of the road. Next block up, have them all on the right-hand side of the road, and have them alternating row after row after row. This creates maximum efficiency for your public transportation, and once I increased my public transportation early in the game, my profitability shot through the roof. in my commercial areas here. All of a sudden, everyone was using mass transit because it was so massively available. Look how massively available it is. Okay, once you put out this many bus stops, you will have to immediately support your public transportation by getting a number of extra buses on board. So that's what I do. Once my population's at about 12,000, max out your buses. Do it. Your profitability will shoot through the roof when you do that on your commercial areas. At this point in the game, when your population's at about 10,000, and notice how I got maximum of 8 buses here, look at this, 26,000 riders per day, and it actually takes 37 minutes per average wait. Yeah, that's because my population is booming. Look at this, I'm at 60,000 already. Look at how fast the population is increasing since the beginning of this video. My population is shooting through the roof here, guys. Mass transit is a huge element in that. Okay, so how do you get the tourists to come into your town? Here's how you do it. First things first, bus terminal, the other element of mass transit. You want to put your bus terminal in the heart of your commercial district, which is what I've done here. Before I put down my bus terminal, I made sure that I had a tourist attraction available. First things first about bus terminals. You want to max out your buses on this bus terminal ASAP, the second you get it, and you want to make sure that you have regular bus stops out in front here, so that your in-house buses, your city-based buses, can pick up people from the bus terminal here. As you can see, they're doing it in mass, and then they're driving all these tourists around my city. Currently, I have 986 residential riders using this system and 240 tourists. Not bad for these municipal buses, so they serve double duty for you. Okay, before I built that, I went ahead and went with a tourism destination. You need that in order to attract tourists from your region, obviously. So let's go ahead and take a look at our specializations. And tourism is a very, very greedy, it's under culture. It's a very, very greedy area. The guy who runs this woman right here, she tells you nonstop, not enough tourists, not enough tourists, not enough tourists. The way to satisfy her needs is to get yourself a regional bus terminal right here, a bus terminal, and max the buses out on that, and then you can start to get in the game. I highly recommend an Edifico Copan as your first landmark. It's 50,000. It's a medium tourist attraction. This is from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Horrible pronunciation, I'm sure, because I'm American. Why do I recommend it? Because it will house 1,100 residents for you early in the game to help expand your population. This thing does double duty. You put it in the middle of your commercial district. People live here. Literally, 1,100 people live here. Then they all leave their area once they wake up in the morning and they go shop. That's exactly what you want early in the game, because the main thing, high residential demand, yes. The main thing that your commercial areas will be pissed about early in the game is not enough shoppers, not enough shoppers. Put it in the middle of this area. It will attract tourists from your bus terminal and give you more shoppers for this area. It is the best possible tourist element that you can drop in your town early to help drive growth to your tourism. Okay? The one thing you need to note about this building, though, it sucks up power like a beast. I'm telling you, like a mega beast. Before you drop any tourism destination, especially this one, beef up your power. You need to have at least 10 small windmills to handle this thing. If you drop this thing early game, drop your windmills ahead of time. As soon as I dropped that building, I went from in the green on my power to no power for the whole city immediately. Major power demands there. Okay. Now, another element you need to remember in building a commercial city, and this is this type of commercial city, this is a medium wealth with a low wealth minor focus. You need to get medium wealth people in your town to support your commercial elements early on. This bus terminal will only give you so much support for your commercial elements. How do you do that? Parks is a good start. And I've got this laid out on a nice little grid here to attract medium wealth people. I've got medium path parks going every other block across here, and also skate parks. And as you can see, I have them lined up on a grid. So whenever I drop them, these medium wealth elements will begin to drop. Make sure you put parks close to your commercial areas, because that drives up the land value of your commercial areas as well. I noticed a direct correlation of when I drop my parks close to my commercial right here up the gut. the value of my commercial skyrocketed immediately, and all of a sudden those buildings started becoming small buildings to medium-sized buildings to large buildings once I dropped those parks. Parks are very, very important. There's other ways to get medium wealth people into your town and attracted to you, one of them being the mayor's mansion. And let's go ahead and find where the mayor lives here a second. Looks like, oh, I can drop a mayor's mansion now, but I had a mayor's house. Here it is. Put the mayor's house in this area to add value to this population right here. He keeps smiley faces on the entire town. I've seen other folks in videos post about how you put the mayor's house actually in a commercial area, and it will help drive growth and happiness to that commercial area. Another thing that medium wealth and low wealth people want and will attract them to your city is this right here: education, grade school. So putting a grade school in this area, there is a lack of parks in this area, but putting the grade school here makes everybody super, super happy. Let me give you a tip on grade schools. You need to set up your bus stops for grade schools the way that you would set them up for your regular transportation. Why? Because this makes everybody who has a bus stop near their house happy. Notice how I've got this grid for bus stops. It's a whole separate bus stop grid, basically lined up and mirroring my current bus stop grid for my regular buses. Do it. It makes sense. They're picking up all kinds of kids for school and bringing them over here. And once you get your grade school, I think it's up to like teaching 800 kids a day, then you can go for the community college. Looks like I need to fill in my bus stops over here actually, so they can go to school. I will be doing that soon. Once you get 800 kids at your grade school, then you can do a community college. The community college will blow up so quick with thousands of students on board, and what you'll need to do is very quickly put on an extension wing. I recommend getting the community college once your population is at 25,000. I recommend getting the grade school once your population is at 20,000. Both of these will help attract more medium wealth population to your city and keep their overall happiness up even while you're taxing them heavily. Speaking of taxes, how do you make money in a commercial town? Bump up your commercial taxes. Lay off the residential a bit. Lay off the residential. You want them to have money in their pocket. I keep them at about a steady 10%, but arbitrarily, I will raise my commercial taxes up to about 12% and just generate a significant more revenue. Look at that. As soon as I did that, boom, my hourly profits shot up to about 5,000. Do that for a couple hours, and then you will make whatever money you need for your next investment, and then go ahead and back off a little bit. And it looks like I'm gonna go ahead and maintain some things here. I do not want doo-doo to be flowing in the streets. I don't have quite enough cash for that yet. How much is it? 40,000. We'll grab that here in a minute. I do not want doo-doo to be flowing in the streets on my Pro City series. That is for my Troll City series. Link in the video description below if you guys want to check that out. I actually troll Sims in a different series. So we'll handle that sewer here in a moment. So that's how you get things up to about the 30,000 population range. One thing that's really important, as soon as you upgrade your city hall here, and the way that you actually get your bus terminal, I forgot to mention it a moment ago, and it is very, very important. Make sure you put on the right module. Make sure at least one spot in your city has a Department of Transportation. Without a Department of Transportation, you cannot have this bus terminal, and therefore you cannot have the extra tourism here. Now, how did I end up being able to put up these extra tourist elements? In my other town, the Pinnacle, I have the Department of Tourism there, which unlocked these. Okay, so that's the basics of how you do it here, guys. That's the very, very basics. One thing to note, in terms of your fire infrastructure, your health infrastructure, as well as your police infrastructure, you need very minimal amounts of investments in a commercial-based town. In a gambling-based town, in a industrial-based town, as we saw from the other videos, you need significant safety infrastructure to handle business. In this one, you do not. That's one thing that's fantastic about commercial. For some reason, it's peaceful. There's not a lot of fire because there's industrial, and also you don't get a lot of crime because there's not a lot of gambling in your city. So that's one major advantage to doing this configuration. All right. One other thing, I am starting to have some health some health problems because of the density, however. Gonna have to deal with that. Yep, and now my buses are overflowing. Look at that, just since this video started, my population has doubled. It's so ridiculous how quickly your population will expand as soon as you put a new tourist element, which is this one right here, the Globe Theater. So, I've got an event going right now, and the attendance is very, very low. I've only got 216 people here for some reason. I don't know why. I think because I did a poor job of promoting it, and also the first event that I did, the first play I did at the Globe Theater, I actually got nearly a full house. I had 1,600 people here, and the current payout on this event is really, really bad so far. So I don't know why I've got super low attendance this time. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. Now you have to make sure to schedule your events early in the day, and they will end up playing at about 8 p.m. at night. So yeah, that's really interesting that I've got a low attendance here. The first event I did, here's what I did to make sure that my first event had lots and lots and lots of people showing up. I made sure to have a special bus stop right here and right here and right here, and notice how I put the Globe Theater right next to my bus terminal. Right next to it. See all these little Sims here? See all these freaking dudes? They all have to walk right past your Globe Theater, and once they do, they walk into your Globe Theater and give you lots of business. So it appears that, and I haven't experimented with them that much, you do want to make sure that you have a decent number of high wealth population attending your events at a Globe Theater too, because they'll probably be paying more in ticket prices. You can benefit up to $42,000 per event at the Globe Theater, which is really, really beneficial. That's a massive amount of cash. Let me give you one tip in terms of expanding your city. All right, whenever you upgrade your roads, I highly recommend going from dirt to low as your first step. I recommend after that, skipping medium and just going straight to high density population. One mistake that a lot of people make when I see them doing their SimCity Let's Plays is they say, okay, I've got this huge section of town right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just upgrade this whole half of my town to medium density right out the gate. I highly recommend against that. What I recommend instead is upgrading a strip. So what I did is I just did this strip right up here up the middle, high density for that whole strip, and I waited about half a day. Then I did high density for the next strip, and I waited about half a day. Then what you want to do is space these out, because you don't know exactly how that's going to affect your needs in terms of sewer infrastructure, water infrastructure, policing, and fires. If you expand in about 20 or 30 slots at the same time, all of a sudden, the power will go down in your city, your infrastructure will go down, and you'll be having major problems. Your commercial areas will need way too many workers too fast, and you will decrease in population, and you will decrease in the amount. I'm almost here for my sewerage, by the way. One more tick and I'll get there. And you will decrease the amount of profitability, and you'll actually take a step back in progress. Very important in a commercial-based town to take it easy and don't overextend. Be patient. Don't take out major bonds and drop huge tourism elements when you don't have the power infrastructure. Patience is the only way to handle a commercial-based infrastructure. One last point about this, because this is pretty damn straightforward. Okay, early on, the main complaint from all of your commercial places are going to be need workers, need workers, need workers, need medium wealth, need medium wealth, need medium wealth. For the amount of commercial that you put in your town, exceed the amount of commercial early on with at least 4 times as much residential when you start. And then make a high priority when you're at about the 8,000 population mark to put down parks to get those medium wealth citizens on board. That will make your commercial areas happy. They will be very, very satisfied that you did that for them, and they will begin, oh no, things are starting to lose power. Oh gosh, my population's expanding too quickly. But they will be very happy that you have those medium wealth shoppers. And that's why the reason why I'm emphasizing medium wealth shoppers in my commercial town is because medium wealth shoppers make you more money than low wealth shoppers. That's the bottom line, and that's the only reason why I'm doing that. I will be able to support low wealth people here because my destinations and my bus terminal will bring in low wealth people, and they will be able to shop at these medium wealth areas. But overall, in my region as a whole, when you're thinking about the meta game, the whole reason why I have these low wealth people here is to just harvest the living crap out of those resources in the Black Lawn. So that summarizes this video and how to start up a commercial town. I'll bring you more videos soon on how to handle your mid-game, which I just vaulted into my mid-game. My 75,000 mark is my mid-game for this commercial city. So I'll bring you more tips videos in the future. Be sure to subscribe to FTW Broadcasting for more. Check out the playlist in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.